Chain smoke your problems away. Smokepit Fairy Tales Part 4, Chapter 20, Venus Cocktrap. Lieutenant Colonel Santorino told the battalion to sit down from the stage of the base theater. Projected behind him was a map of the inner solar system, and filling the seats to his front was 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines.
Good morning, Marines.
Good morning, sir.
Santorino paced around the stage.
First off, let me congratulate you on your pre-deployment training. I know it wasn't the easiest of things, but you spent most of your time, sans weekends, out in the deserts, but you rocked it, and I'm extremely proud of you.
He looked up at the solar map, then back to his Marines.
Our mission hasn't changed much since the last float. We'll be leaving Mars en route to Lagrange Point 4, then L1, then to Luna, L5, then back to Mars. Solar flares and asteroids shouldn't be an issue. Those who were around 5 years ago know what I'm talking about.
Some of the Marines chuckled. Others groaned.
Lagrange Point 4 is neutral territory. I wouldn't expect to see Russian ships in the vicinity. However, if we are met, we're bound by treaty not to engage the enemy within 500 miles of the colonies. The same does not apply to Lagrange Points 1 and 5, seeing as how they are allies and they will be engaging Ivan as soon as they are deemed a threat. Enemy situation along our patrol route is hazy at best. We do know they deployed a fleet of newly constructed ships. However, we haven't been able to track them. On our course between L4 and L1, HMS cruisers from Albion and Avalon will join us, and our 3rd fleet is orbiting Luna. For you Libo hounds expecting to make ports in Fragrance Harbor, Avalon, and Luna City, we got a few last things to tend over for the next few weeks. Then our block leave. Commanding officers, you have them. Carry out the plan of the day.
Captain Rodzer released the company for the day, and they left the theater. Stockton elbowed Thatch as they walked back to the barracks.
You hear that? The BC's proud of us.
Thatch knew she was just being a smartass.
Yeah, because they don't all always say that.
Chuck butted in.
They kind of have to. We're a direct reflection of the commanders, so if we suck, they suck. Napoleon said it best. There are no bad regiments, only bad colonels.
That's a good fucking point.
What are we doing tonight?
Getting drunk and playing video games and guitar?
Thatch, Stockton, Chuck, and McKenzie did just that. They changed into jeans and shirts, grabbed a couple cases of beer, and fired up Thatch's console. While they were playing, McKenzie brought up their upcoming deployment.
So Lagrange Point 4 is Lion City and Fragrance Harbor, and 1 is Albion and Avalon. What's at 5?
I think that's Yukio and Kota Kinabalu.
Chuck kept his eyes on the screen.
I haven't been there.
I don't think any of us have. I mean, I've seen those colonies from the smoke deck, but I've never stepped foot in them.
You think we'll go back to Lion City?
Stockton shook her head.
I'd hope we'd go to Fragrance Harbor. I've already been to Lion City.
Yeah.
During a lull in the game, Thatch checked his phone. It had buzzed earlier, but he was busy with his game. Samum's name was on the text screen. Thatch let out a groan.
What?
Thatch didn't know what he should feel about Samum. Whatever it was strong, but it was shifting from affection to contempt.
Fucking Nazik.
Why are you still talking to that bitch?
I don't know.
Thatch opened the message. It read,
Could I ask you a huge favor?
Maybe.
Samum texted him back immediately.
I'm miserable and in bed, but I left my meds in my car. Would you maybe possibly bring them to me?
What are you miserable about?
I'm sick.
Thatch was still upset with her. He brooded over the gall she had to ask him anything.
I'm gonna go smoke.
He walked outside, lit a cigarette, and pondered his position. Yes, he was angry, but he also cared for her. He took in a deep drag and tried to think. He concluded that, as mad as he was, he didn't want her to suffer, and that he'd feel horrible if there was anything he could do that he didn't. He texted her.
Is your car unlocked?
Yes, it is. The meds should be in the center console.
Thatch begrudgingly grabbed her pills from the car and walked into her room. Samum was in her green PT shorts and shirt, lying in the bed face down.
Hey.
Thatch thought she looked like death and took pity on her. Red burned through her otherwise tanned face. Snot, drool, and spittle oozed out of her mouth and nose. Her eyes were bloodshot and sagged. Thatch hated to see her in that state. He sat down on the bed next to her, placed the pills on the shelf on the headboard, and put his hand on her forehead. She was burning up.
What's wrong?
Strep.
I'm sorry, that sucks.
He looked at what she had around her. Past the wrinkled tissues and throat drop wrappers was an empty glass. Thatch grabbed it and went to fill it with water and ice. Samum forced herself to her back.
You're too kind to me.
Thatch returned with the water. He handed her the glass and grabbed her pills.
How many of these do you need?
Just one.
Thatch popped a singular pill into his hand and handed it to her. She fought to get it down through the gripping torment in her throat and laid back down. Thatch went to her bathroom and found a plastic zip bag and a washcloth. He soaked the cloth and filled the bag with ice. He came back to her side and sat up next to her in bed. He put the cloth on her forehead and rested the ice above it. Samum caught a coughing fit and hacked up slime onto Thatch's jeans. Then she rested her head on him and cuddled next to his leg as he held the rag and ice on her face. Thatch watched her as she laid there suffering. He thought that it should have been everything he wanted, that he should relish that he was lucky enough to watch someone who broke his heart laid prostrate in torment and agony. But that wasn't the case. There was only sorrow and pain. He watched Samum's mouth move. It was almost like she was talking to someone in a dream. He waited until he knew she was asleep and re-wet the washcloth, kissed her forehead, put back the cloth, rubbed his hand over her hair, and left. He stood out in the courtyard watching the snow start to flutter and settle on the red Martian dust. He lit a cigarette and tried to empty his mind, hating himself for being that weak towards her. He thought that he should have told her to fuck off and then just let her die alone in a room. Then he felt like an asshole for thinking like that. He sat in a pool of confused emotions until his cigarette burned his fingers. The next day went smooth. Thatch went to formation, held his Marines on standby for the morning until the CEO secured the company in the early afternoon. Thatch sat at his computer looking for places to go on pre-deployment leave. It hit him that he'd never been on a real vacation before. He'd always just gone home. He texted Chuck, Stockton, and McKenzie to see what their plans were. They all said they were just going home too. Thatch settled for going home to Ma. He pulled some leftovers out from his mini fridge and popped them into the microwave. He grabbed the bowl and started watching videos on the internet while he ate. A loud bang rattled his door. Thatch was startled and jerked around to see Samum kicking his door open. She didn't look much better than she did the night before and was garbed in sweats and a homely blue top. Thatch could see rage boiling in her eyes. Samum coughed into a tissue while she approached him, glaring.
Why is it that you tell people that I am a hoe?
Thatch was caught completely off guard and didn't have an immediate response. His brain tried to stop him, but his mouth rattled off.
Because I was in the smoke pit trying to have a good time and I see you on the internet acting like one and got pissed off because I thought we had something going on. Then immediately after I say, what the fuck, Samum, everyone around me goes, oh, you mean Nazik? Yeah, she's a slut. We all fucked her. Looked at these text messages.
Samum halted for a moment, then doubled down with a snide.
Like who? What is it that you've seen and decided that you wouldn't just tell me about? I haven't talked to anyone around here in a very long time.
Thatch reared his head back in disgust.
Bitch, you fucked Goody last month. What's a long time to you?
Thatch put up fingers as he named people.
Llama, Goody, Billy, some dudes at the other fucking barracks.
Which Billy?
Short one.
Samum hesitated for a moment, but drilled daggers into Thatch with her eyes.
What about dates?
I've taken you out.
No, like when it happened.
Thatch pulled back, recognizing that most of it was probably before they were together, or not together, or whatever the hell they were doing. Samum coughed and her voice settled into resentment.
Why would you say it anyway?
Thatch took a deep breath.
Because, Samum, I really fucking care about you, and all of a sudden I get bombarded all at once that this woman I care about's a fucking tramp, and I was fucking hurt.
Samum relaxed her shoulders and took her eyes off Thatch.
Goody was a mistake. Billy and I dated for like a week 2 years ago, and I dumped him because he's a bitch with a small dick.
She stuck up her pinky.
Like, seriously, this big. And Llama was just a year. It was just last year. And we're just staying friends.
Thatch clamped down his teeth.
Yeah, then why is it that when I texted you, hey, what's up a few days ago, you ignored me, and the next morning you sent me, sorry, I fell asleep, but 2 hours after I texted you, you texted Llama, hey, come over, you fucking lying bitch.
Thatch held his tongue and felt like a coward for not calling her out.
And I dated a guy at the other barracks for a while and fucked his roommate one time to get back at him. And there was that other guy, but he wasn't even at this unit. But you don't have to worry about any of that. And I just can't believe you'd call me a hoe. That guy who cares about me so much to take care of me while I'm sick and sees me so beautifully that he paints me and sits under the stars and talks about what the universe might mean. He's going to call me a hoe? It hurts me that you'd think that.
Samum grabbed Thatch, pulled him into her breasts, and rubbed his head.
I don't want you to think of me like that. I'm not a slut. Do I not mean anything to you?
Thatch ripped his head back.
I honest to God care about you so much that it fucking hurts.
He looked deeper into himself and couldn't put it together why he was telling her anything instead of just kicking her back out of his room and telling her to get out of his fucking life. Neither of them said anything for a minute. Thatch reached up and wrapped his hands around her, pulling her in tight. and cursing himself for not being strong enough to tell her to go. She rubbed his head and tried to sing a lullaby through the coughing fits. Thatch thought the entire affair was cruel and discriminatory, but didn't respect himself enough to leave. She grabbed his head and angled his face up. She put her lips on his.
Can I stay here tonight?
Yeah.
Samum locked his door and turned off his lights.
Can I use your phone charger?
Sure, it's by the secretary.
Thatch checked the clock on his phone. It wasn't all that late. She stripped down to nothing and curled up in Thatch's bed. Thatch took off his jeans, then crawled under the covers with her. He woke up a little after midnight. Samum was still in his arms. He rubbed the soft skin on her back and crawled his fingers down to her rear. Samum let out a deep breath and slid one of her legs up. Thatch glided his hand down between her and massaged her lipless.
Hey, what's up? It's me. Real quick, I got to cut this part because YouTube will not like it. I mean, these aren't really getting monetized too heavily anyway, but I don't want them to delete my channel for, shit. Anyway, what goes on here is Thatch and Samum start, they bump uglies here. And the keynote to take away from this is that Samum's lady bits taste like penicillin. Take that as you will. All right, back to the story.
Stood up to use the shower. Thatch flung himself into the bed and curled up next to the wall. A few minutes later, Samum came back to the bed and spooned up next to him. Her body was cool and wet and felt like silk against Thatch's skin. Thatch's phone buzzed the alarm and shook the two of them awake. Samum rubbed her face and squeaked.
Ugh, what time is it?
4:30.
Samum slid out of bed and hastily pulled on her clothes.
I have to go.
Me too.
Samum kissed him and left the room.
Hey everybody, what's up? Thanks for listening to another chapter episode of Chain Smoke Your Problems Away. We're getting through this guy. I think we're about that far in there. Not quite half yet. Anyway, if you don't want to wait for me to read this to you, you can just go buy the book. Or if you're specifically in it for the audiobook part, I put these chapters up on Patreon as soon as I'm done with them, and I've only got like 4 or 5 chapters left to do on that. So we're on chapter, 33 or 34 over there. Anyway, I'd like to thank my patrons. Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank people that are YouTube channel members who they get these as soon as I upload them. And also thanks to everyone who's gotten the War Chest, which is the box set of these books. Hope you're having a good December, Merry Christmas, and all that. When's Hanukkah this year? Also, a little update on the actual book front. I'm moving forward with, my next novel, 13 short stories down. I got the cover done, and right now I'm just kind of waiting on all the copyright stuff. So hopefully that'll be a February thing. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. All right, well anyway, I think this chapter has bloopers. Should, but don't, oh well. But I will catch you next week. You have a good one. Ciao.
Audible hopes you've enjoyed this program.
Testing. Wow, that's pretty loud. Oh, but it's not. Okay, all right, sweet. Let's try that.
We're testing the levels. Level 1. Fight.
Chapter 20.
Venus Cocktrap.
Out of context, that one's confusing to fucking figure out what the fuck. Right? I'm not sure how the what's supposed to sound, but I'll give it a couple.
Smokepit Terry Tales. Tales of Terror. Terry. Yo, Terry! No breakfast until you've eaten your smoke pit. All right.
I think that.
Can tell what kind of a recording session this is gonna be.
Okay, this is Hollis reading for Samum. I'm gonna try to be extra cough and not giggle.
You're a cocktrap.
Also not giggle while I read chapter 20. This is take 1. I'm gonna be a professional and I'm not gonna laugh my ass off.
To watch my enemies laid prostrate in torment and agony.
I believe in myself. Chapter 20, Venus Cocktrap.
What's it named after, Mom?
Okay, all right. We're gonna listen to that. See how it went.
Samum coughed into a tissue while she approached him glaring. God damn it to hell.
I think that's Yukio. I think that's Yukio and Kota Kinabalu. One more time. I think that's Yukio and Kota Kinabalu.
That didn't say shit about her. Everyone else did.
I've had some extra water. Yes, chapter 20, Venus Cocktrap. I am a professional. This is fucking funny. I am sorry. It is, and it's also God damn it, Thatch. It's goddamn disgusting. God damn it, Thatch on several levels, but also, like, God, she's sick, man. Ew. All right, my personal hygiene is offended. All right, I've had water. I'm ready to fake cough my way through things and moan.
Sorry, I was there. I read it. I narrated it.
These next 2 lines are for chapter 20. I just saw this. It's like 2 lines. I'm just going to leave it right here.
Oh, good answer, Samum. Samum. Which one? Thatch. Short one. Which Billy? Yeah, sorry, I was repeating what you said. I hope listening to these is funny to you
What
sometimes.
the fuck, dude? Turn that back on. Jesus Christ, I didn't turn it off.
Oh, no, they're just children.
So Lagrange Point 4 is Lion City and Fragrance Harbor, and 1 is... Oh, fuck, I should have read this before I started looking back here. What the fuck does that say? Albion.
And they're both babies. Little babies.
So Lagrange Point 4 is Lion City and Fragrance Harbor, and 1 is Albion. Fuck. Ah!
No, yeah, you wrote this. We talked about this. You wrote this in the closing window where you were actually in touch with, like, drama barracks, early 20s, idiotic dating.
And now I need more water.
I do hate them both so much.
Okay, this is Hollis reading for Samum. I'm going to try to be extra cough and not giggle. Also not giggle while I read chapter 20. This is take 1. I'm going to be a professional and I'm not going to laugh my ass off.
Ew, I don't like that sentence. I'm going to have to change the emphasis to make it less awkward.
I believe in myself. Chapter 20, Venus Cocktrap. And Thatch also reverts a little bit. Damn it, Thatch. Samum's a crazy bitch.
No, it's terrible. Can I just say and rubbed it?
Anyway, a week later.
Fuck you! It was a tender moment!
Okay, I burped. I'm going to start again.
Fuck! Thank you.
Meow, meow, meow. Where are we?
Doesn't matter, it's not my line! I'm not a slut! Do I not mean anything to you? Finishing the line! Alright, that line over!
A day later, Thatch is in his room reading, and Samum kicks in his door. She's still sick, and she's pissed off.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no. I've got snot dripping from my nose just reading this trash, yeah.
And fucked up. Anyway.
No, at least these people kill people.
Okay, wires.
Samum, can I stay here tonight and make out when I'm sick as fuck? I can't. Oh my god, that's gonna happen and I'm gonna have to read it.
Samum was a bitch again. Surprise.
Getting ever closer to what I know is going to happen now. Yay! Fuck. Thatch glided his hand down between her and massaged her lipless vagina. Oh, man, god damn it. They're gonna make, it's gonna be so gross! Alright, I gotta back up.
There's a little extra sick noise for you. Enjoy.
Thatch glided his hand down between her and massaged her lipless vagina. Why is it lipless?
Thatch is in his room reading, and Samum kicks in his door. She's still sick, and she's pissed because she's an asshole.
She doesn't have, like, big labia?
Okay, alright. We're gonna listen to that. See how it went.
I say vagina with an R.
Okay, and now I need a drink of water.
I'm hearing it now. Oh, God.
Okay, this is Hollis again. I know. Shock, awe, surprise.
Oh, no, this tastes like penicillin. Jesus Christ, this is awful. Why does it taste like that? Why did you write that sentence?
And I am reading for Samum. This is the second take of Chapter 20, Venus Cocktrap, which, in my personal assessment, is the most difficult chapter to voice act for this character because of all the coughing and sex noises at the same time. Anyway, here we go.
Sounds sticky.
A week after Samum was a gigantic bitch.
That's your son.
A day later.
Oh no, it's gonna be worse than making out. No! That sat on his chair and Samum got it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna start that.
Thatch is in his room reading, and Samum kicks that door in.
Oh my.
Yeah, she's sick and pissed off.
Oh no, it is gonna be making out. Oh, it's both. Jesus.
Bitch troll Samum.
When that started to breathe heavier, Samum bit into his lower lip and splashed. Oh my god, all right. I was like, milk's not really going to be a part of this, is it? No, it's just an adjective, thank Christ. Like, what the fuck are you writing here? Is this going to turn into furry shit? I'm okay with that, but you got to warn me.
Bitch trolling. Okay, I'm sorry. I am always goofy. All right.
Cool. Got through that shit. Got through that fucking smut. You fucking smut writing slut. You nasty motherfucker. Writing strep throat, making out and strep throat blowjobs and fucking milky semen belly button fetish. Shit. Just to be clear, I'm not kink shaming any of this. Whatever gets you off.
And now I need more water.
Yeah, right? Yeah, well, no, exactly. Yeah. I don't want somebody pre-coughing before they deep throat me. Like, that's just... The order of operations is all wrong. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and stop recording now.
Okay, I actually, hocked up a loogie, which I've held in my mouth now. You're welcome. I can go spit this shit out.